I'm not going to go home and kiss my wife because she'd probably be disgusted, right?
Where's your mouth been?
There you go. Like, what were you doing? I was drinking that Jack Daniel's Bonded.
And welcome everyone to episode 67 of The Mashup, the best perfect conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Michael, Anthony, and Steven. Hello, Anthony.
Hello, sir. How are you? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine.
You know, it's been quite a while since I've had the giggles, and tonight I'm just I'm on fire.
Yeah, it's been a while since we recorded.
Yeah, I know. That's true. You know, we missed a week there.
Yep. Sorry, everyone.
No, yeah. Hey, I know that I heard from about 4 people who said like, "Hey, is there a podcast today?"
Are you guys okay?
I was like, "Is there one?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, there isn't one because we couldn't figure it out with our schedules, but that's okay because we deserve a break, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that we interact with people now just like online or podcasts. Because I know there's YouTube channels that, you know, about 2 years ago, there's one channel, they would put out, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 videos a week.
Okay.
And now I think the dude's gone to like 1 every like 2 weeks.
Uh-oh.
And like I start looking at the counter, I'm like, is everything okay?
Yeah, people are like, wait a minute. Where's my content? Every 3 days. I need it every 3 days. Yeah, no. We love y'all, and we're not trying to, you know, shirk our responsibilities of giving you a podcast weekly.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out, you know?
Well, I've come to the realization of one thing.
What's that?
We are trending towards post-COVID.
That's true.
Some of my favorite things are coming back now, like shows.
Okay, please elaborate.
Shows.
Yes. Oh, okay, shows.
Like TV
Just
shows that have been on a hiatus.
That's true.
Because they couldn't record.
Hollywood was on a standstill as well.
Yeah. Remember that writer's strike, for the TV writer's strike?
Yep.
Back in the day in the, I guess, early, mid-2000s?
I do remember that. That crippled a lot of stuff, too. Yeah. It feels like, it almost feels the same in a way, doesn't it?
You definitely could tell the writing was really bad during that time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So what shows are you looking forward to? Like, I know that, here's the thing, okay? I know that you have a better show lineup than I do. I'm one of those people that's kind of like, I kind of go with whatever I'm liking at the moment. And sometimes I follow things, sometimes I don't. I have favorites and stuff like that. But what are you looking forward to?
Well, I have some normal ones I like to watch, and then we just usually just turn on whatever. We do a lot of random Netflixing.
Do you do anything like I do, which is my wife always catches me watching like tween shows? Like I watch tween shows.
They are on every once in a while.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the one right now that my wife got me watching. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "It's a show called All American on the CW." And she's like,
CW.
She just started laughing. She's like, "What's the matter with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just saw it on a Netflix and just started watching it. Now here I am
Netflix.
On the Netflix." And there I am. And now I'm like, I think I'm caught up on it. So that's one that's coming out soon and I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
I want to see what happens with the football and the rap and everything that's going on, you know?
So this is starting off light this year. So
Okay. Oh, light.
this is all basically between HBO, Netflix, and Disney.
Okay.
All these series that I kind of watch.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with HBO. So the Flight Attendant season 2, I think it started back up, or is it season 3? I don't know. It started back up.
Yeah.
That's pretty light, little whodunit kind of mystery show.
Okay.
And then Barry started back up on HBO. That's pretty funny if no one's ever watched it. It's like an ex-hitman that decides to do like stand-up theater.
Oh, really? Like Mob Hitman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love mob
It's
stuff,
pretty
so I probably
funny.
like that. Yeah.
So those are both pretty light, though. So Obi-Wan Kenobi started.
Oh, see, that's massive. Like, I know there's a massive Star Wars. I know you're a massive Star Wars fan. If people don't know that, Steven is a massive Star Wars fan.
Massive, but
He's pretty
I
massive.
enjoy it.
Yeah. Don't lie.
I did learn that Mandalorian new season's not coming out until February.
Oh.
Just so for those that care.
All right.
Then, of course, everyone's favorite, Stranger Things. I hope it's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's
I
coming.
Like
It's
that
coming
one.
soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's Nike actually did like cross collaborations with sneakers and stuff about Stranger Things. Like, they've done a lot of stuff, man.
I think that whole show is just great on just the set design, like from the cars to like all the crap in the house.
Yep.
To just the ambience of the show.
Has it won awards? Do you know? Like, I don't follow that stuff. So
I don't either.
If it is, yeah,
but
it
they
has
should
to,
because
right? They should.
the music selection.
Oh yeah.
I mean, It's killer.
It's
Just,
good.
like the whole set design and everything is great for that show.
I agree.
Mainly because we grew up in that era, so
Yeah.
we know what it should look like.
Two old men over here talking. Look at us.
So I'm looking forward to that. One that is out now, but I haven't re-upped my my Apple TV Plus. I'm waiting for Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, yeah.
To kick back off before
That's the only reason we had it. Was
Yeah.
because of Ted Lasso, yeah.
I'll catch back up on all my
yeah.
Apple TV stuff. But The Big Con, I'm interested in watching that miniseries.
I am too, man, because that's a Kentucky guy here.
That is
right?
a Kentucky guy.
And that's funny that he's like a con and his name's Eric Con.
Eric C. Con, yes.
Eric C. Con.
So what's the premise of that one? There's a huge lawyer in Eastern Kentucky, which is known for being poverty stricken.
Yes, and I think he did like Medicare fraud and like all kinds of health and stuff fraud.
And everyone was in on it. And
like millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I could be making this up, but I'm pretty sure I heard like he ran his show like he was a very serious guy, but then he was also like a frat boy kind of thing, where it's like spending money on all kinds of crazy stuff, like people that are stealing money. I guess they do that kind of thing, So
I'm interested about seeing that documentary.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that either. That's going to be nice. It's going to be like when they had Pappygate. It's just shining a nice light on Kentucky. We're always getting these shows that are...
well, that wasn't the best show. The best thing on Kentucky. People like steal stuff. And this is like people stealing money from people that need it.
Like, where's all the good stuff? Why don't we have good documentaries here from Kentucky? We got all this crap.
And then I have two I'll save to last, but the one I'm most excited for.
Okay.
House of the Dragon.
Ooh, what's that? I don't even know anything about it.
Game of Thrones prequel.
Oh, sweet. See, when you say Game of Thrones prequel, I'm thinking about Better Call Saul.
Which we'll get to.
Yes, because that's the Breaking Bad prequel.
Yes.
And that was one of my,
should be everyone's top favorite show.
A top favorite. Yeah. That was amazing. But anyway, go ahead. I want to go from House of the Dragon. So you're excited about that one.
Probably everyone has a bad taste of how Game of Thrones ended.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
I think so too, just because, the people that were brought on to it did a great job when they actually had material to write about.
Yeah.
But they ran out of material to have on the show. So House of the Dragon, I'm excited because he's written both books for this already.
That's true.
And so all they have to do is just implement the books is what they're going to do.
They might find a way to screw it up.
I hope not.
There's no worse ending in any show, though, of our lifetime, I don't think, than Sopranos with it's just fading to black and everybody going, what the hell happened? And then,
maybe that's what they wanted.
I know, but everybody you wanted to see James Gandolfini come back at some point in time, and now that he's passed away and there's no more Tony Soprano, true. It's like that ending even sucks way more now. And the one that they did as a follow up to that wasn't great. It was okay. I can't remember what it was even called, but I watched that.
Another one that I think got picked up for another season is The White Lotus. That's one of those mini series that they usually have in the summer times, which is good if no one's seen it. It's like 6-8 parts.
Yes.
It's like one of those mystery.
I think things. My wife is watching that.
It's good. If you haven't seen it, I'd watch it.
Okay. I'm settled in with that. That's good.
Let's get back to Better Call Saul.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we didn't watch Breaking Bad when it came out.
Oh, you guys didn't watch it yet?
No. We didn't watch it when it was out. We binged the show.
Oh, nice.
And that's probably one of the heaviest shows I've ever binged.
Bro, like you've binged it. I would watch week to week. I remember because I was in graduate school and I was like hooked. There was a time where in certain scenes of that show, I was like so on the edge of my seat that I was like, one scene I was hiding behind my couch in my living room because I was that like, you know which one I'm talking about, right? The one where Hank is getting gunned down. Not spoiler alert. But that scene in the desert, like I was literally like behind my couch, like nearly crying. I was like, oh my God, I like all the feels. That show was so amazing.
That show was great on just building tension.
Oh yeah, man.
And it's the drama.
It's killer.
Yeah. And so we binged all those series. Like we watched it, I'm not gonna say pretty fast, but maybe over a couple months we finished the whole show.
Oh yeah.
And so Better Call Saul was out. And we start watching it. We're like, we need a mental break.
Oh yeah,
and that's when we start picking up. So I need to like literally watch Better Call Saul because I think whenever we stopped, it was like season 1 somewhere, and we just put it down. But now that I think season 6 of Better Call Saul is,
I think so. I think I'm only through half it. I'm probably only through 3 seasons, so I'm not in a dissimilar position to you guys. Yeah,
and so I want to see how they tie the prequel Better Call Saul into Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
because I want to see how they make that transition.
God, and if you think about it, like at the end of Breaking Bad, everybody's, I guess, still alive. So I wonder if they can do anything with that. Like, just such a great show.
Yeah.
man, one of the greatest. There's all kinds of stuff that I really love. Like I even like watching the Law and Order stuff now. They brought Stabler back for what is it? Organized crime. That's pretty cool because I like the mafia stuff, and now Stabler's in there like trying to check organized crime. Cool.
Well, getting back to the real reason we're here.
Yeah.
It's for the shout outs.
Oh, 100%.
So we had a big week. Thank you all.
Yeah, we did.
We had 4 new shout outs.
Yeah.
And actually one actually wrote a review.
That's true. Yep. And that person was TJ.
TJ.
T-E-E-G. No, J. J. Look at me. I can't even talk. J-A-Y. He said, love it. Enjoy the podcast. Great to hear your takes on these bottles before I tried them. Also like that you review some regular bottles that everyone can get, which is the whole point of what we're doing here. We said that from the beginning, even though we do flash some, sexy bottles from time to time that people are really looking for. We're really about trying the stuff that's on the shelf and really, trying to go on that journey with you. And so we really appreciate that review, TJ.
Thanks, everyone, for the reviews. And if you want a shout out, just leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. The next time we record, we'll give you a shout out.
Yep, we'd love to. We'd love to hear that feedback.
For this week, we have, I would guess, to be a classic bottle. Would you say that?
Yeah, it could be. It's a modern take on a classic bottle.
Yeah. For this week, we have a bottle of Jack Daniel's Bonded Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh, yeah. So we got Jack Daniel's Bonded here. And this is a brand new release. It's coming to us from the Jack Daniel's Distillery in Lynchburg, Tennessee. World famous, of course. Owned by Brown-Forman, though. And this is a 2022 bottle date. The ABV on this bottle is 50%. The proof is 100. The age is 4 years old. And the fact that it's bottled and bond, we just want to remind you, it's distilled in a single season and aged in the same government bonded warehouse for 4 years. The mash bill is 80% corn, 8% rye, and 12% malted barley. And the MSRP on this is $31.99.
$32.
I know.
Why does that feel expensive?
It does feel expensive, but then again, when you look at Jack Daniels, Jack Daniels, the only one that we're familiar with for when it comes to Jack Daniels is the regular Jack Daniels product, and of course, they've become a little bit more adventurous in the recent years. They've had barrel-proof stuff. They've released rye. They've released. They had a special release, the Coy Hill, critically acclaimed. And so even though they've had special releases, I can't remember that one that was in a gold box. They had the Sinatra edition. They had all kinds of stuff that they've done. But in terms of permanent brand extension lines, the Bonded is supposed to be a new one, as so is the Triple Mash. And so it's really interesting to see, we have this bottle here tonight. It's basically just hit the shelves this week in Kentucky.
Well, the bottle is, I'm going to say, very quintessential Jack Daniel's shape.
It is, and I can't tell if it's actually the regular shape of Jack Daniels.
Does it look skinnier?
It looks skinnier, doesn't it?
That's what I was going to say. It looks skinnier. All it has on it is a very small printed label, but everything else is very coolly embossed on the glass.
Yeah, how do they get away with doing embossed glass when everybody's with glass shortages? They got this really nice, everything's embossed on here. It says established in 1866? That's crazy. And registered. The Jack Daniel Distillery, DSP-TN Tennessee 1.
Number 1.
I know, and weren't we kind of confused about the DSP stuff? Because some places, I don't know how they do the DSP, but DSP 1 in Kentucky is Heaven Hill.
Right.
And so I don't know if they do it by state or if this is something they've done recently for marketing, because I thought for some reason their DSP was 4. At least you've seen that somewhere online, but oh well.
I know when we go on tours, if we go on a tour of some whiskey or bourbon that's been rejuvenated or brought back from the dead, they want to make sure they get that original DSP number just to be low.
Yeah. And the thing with Jack Daniels though is it's been around for a long time, and it's also, we're looking at this label here. It actually reminds you of traditional Jack Daniels, but it's not as in your face and not as antique looking. It almost looks more modern.
Just the neck looks antique.
Yes, but they're definitely trying to capitalize on trends here, because do you know that Jack Daniel's, Stephen, is what their place is in the world in terms of whiskey sales?
Number 3.
Actually, Jack Daniel's is the number 1 selling whiskey in the world.
Well, it almost brought with for tonight's taste.
What's that?
A can of Coke.
Of course,
That's why
right?
it's number one, right?
Yes, because I actually think that I was thinking back on my time of drinking whiskey and then thinking about this bottle we're going to drink tonight, and I think Jack and Coke was probably one of the first mixed drinks I ever had.
I mean, it's in movies. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty.
know.
It's
I'm trying to remember if I had CC and Coke because I've told you guys in previous
done that,
episodes talking
yeah.
about like Canadian Club.
I think
That was a
it tastes
good mixer.
I think
yeah.
it tastes pretty good.
Yeah, CC and Coke's pretty good. So yes, Jack Daniels. I don't know it as a sipping whiskey. I did have a chance to taste the Coy Hill. I'll talk to you about Coy Hill after we taste this one. But I'm kind of interested to see what it brings us tonight. And I mean, the bottle's nice. It's definitely a nice look compared to what their traditional bottle looks like and what we're used to. If you're a traditionalist, you're not going to like this bottle.
No, and it's not going to catch your eye on the shelf.
Yeah,
it's
not
too,
really.
It's too vanilla, boring.
Yeah, it's pretty muted to be honest. I mean, the gold and black is nice,
But the label's so small.
Yeah, the label's small, and you can't see the embossing unless you're up close to it. It's got a nice natural cork in it, but really, I honestly, like, just looking at it makes me think they're just trying to capitalize on the whole, like, craze of bonded whiskey, like something that they've never done, right?
Yeah.
Kentucky distilleries have done this for years. They've had bonded whiskeys forever. But Jack Daniels, of course, because they always want to imitate Kentucky, and people want to dispute whether or not it's bourbon. It pretty much is bourbon, but
Bonded, is that a federal or by state?
that's a federal thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the same rules apply then.
Yeah, same rules apply. Yep. It's got to be 4 years, distilled in a single season, aged in a bonded warehouse, same place. So that's why it says on here, if you look real closely, aged in select barrels for added depth and character. And of course, even though it's called bonded, underneath it says bottled and bond 100 proof.
Well, should we go for first notes?
Sounds good. The nose is quintessential Jack Daniels. And so for me, Jack Daniels always has like a very, and this is probably what mixes well with Coke, very vanilla forward.
I agree.
Like massively vanilla forward, almost like sweet.
Are you getting this is going to be very faint. Are you getting the hint of peat?
Yeah, there is a little bit of peating. And, well, I want to wait to taste it before we talk about it. But, Tennessee is famous for this thing called the Lincoln County process, which is the charcoal mellowing. And I don't know. I've just never really understood that process very well. And I feel like that's probably what's contributing to some things that we don't normally.
I mean, I also get like a real faint smoke.
Yeah, it is. It's smoke and peat and vanilla and sweet. I'm trying to think of
licorice? Black licorice?
It is a little bit. It's like, what do they call that? Yeah, it is like a black licorice smell to it. It's pretty.
It's quite a weird notes.
It is. And like I was thinking about this the last couple of times that we've got together to drink, we've drank a lot of rye.
Yeah.
And even then we've drank a lot of bourbon. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Have we ever drank any Jack Daniels? I don't know that we have of any sort since we've been doing this, and we're on 60 some episodes here.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's maybe why this is getting a little bit different for us.
Well, with those notes, let's go for a taste.
All right. Sounds good. Oh. Wow.
Woo.
So, man.
If those gym shoes were liquid.
Oh, God. You're going back to what Michael said about Benchmark Foolproof. Remember that?
Oh, my gosh.
He said his wife said his feet were buttery or something. We miss you, Michael, on that one. But are you feeling like that for this one?
That's foul.
Sweaty socks, yeah. It's okay. So
maybe that's why Jack and Coke is a famous line, because you can't drink it straight.
Maybe like there's just like a weird.
This is $32.
Yeah, butteriness that's not a good butteriness, and then it like almost has a bitter aftertaste. The only thing I get from this and the taste that I like is that it's sweet. But if you have an 80% corn whiskey, as Jack Daniels is, there's a sweetness that hits on the outside of your tongue.
I'm getting that peat coming through on the back sides of the tongue. Yeah,
it does. It's not like Scotch peat.
No,
it's like a weird foul.
Yes,
it's like a weird foul bitterness mixed with. Like I said, the hint of sweet is very, very quick. But I will just say this: I think in terms of actual notes that are coming out here, I'm going to take one more sip. I guess if there was a pleasurable side to this, and I'm looking at Steven's face, he's like, "There's no pleasure in this." You should see his face. I can frame this for you guys. Like he has a look of disgust on his face, and it's just now that he's smiling at me because I'm describing the way that he looks. But he's not happy. Are you happy, sir?
I'm trying to formulate words
to describe this
for the letdown that I have to. That is coming.
Yeah. So here's the thing: when you first sip it, you get this immediate blast of sweet oak and vanilla that just dissipates into what I would call like a nightmarish hell, and that's being.
It's a little hot.
A little hot.
A little hot. Like the finish is okay length. It burns a little, but it's not short. It's got that going for it.
The aftertaste that's in my mouth right now is just awful. Yeah. It just is not something that I'm not going to go home and kiss my wife because she'd probably be disgusted, right?
Where's your mouth been?
There you go. Like, what were you doing? I was drinking that Jack Daniel's Bonded. Yeah, no, it's not hitting any. I'm not hitting any high notes there on that. I'm actually so disappointed because I just thought because regular Jack is regular Jack. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and try it, but I might prefer that over this. I don't know. I never sipped Jack neat, you know. What do you think? Like, so do you know anything about the Lincoln County process I mentioned earlier?
I do not.
So I don't either, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. So we can just get that out of the way. But they're very proud of the fact they make their own charcoal there. They make it out of like, I believe, smoked wood and sugar.
Okay.
And so they create like this big, long, what I would consider to be like a column of charcoal.
Okay.
And after they distill the whiskey, they dump it through there. So it filters through like this wood chip charcoal stuff, and then it gets barreled.
So that's kind of where the smoke is going to come from.
I think so. And that's called the Lincoln County process. There's probably more detailed explanations of it on these more, like in-depth podcasts, right? They might spend an hour on the Lincoln County process, but that's what they do. And a lot of Tennessee distilleries do this. It's like part of their heritage and part of their history.
Okay.
But I think it's responsible for some of the flavors we don't like in Tennessee whiskey. I mean, we've talked about George Dickel in the past. Now we're sitting here talking about.
Did they have the same Lincoln process?
I think they do. I think they do something similar. Not the exact same thing as Jack Daniel's does, but they all do this thing where they mellow and charcoal filter before they barrel. And, everybody does, you guys hear the terms of uncut, unfiltered. Well, This is just their process.
I wonder how this is different or adds to what level char the barrel is.
I have no idea. It's a big mystery to me.
Yeah.
But I do know this. I don't think pass, try, or buy is going to be very difficult tonight.
No.
But I have had other Jack Daniel's products recently, most notably Coy Hill, and it's amazing. It just tastes so good. And I can't imagine what is different or what makes that taste so good versus this tasting right now. I'm just going to say I got a little bit left in my glass here, but I'm not even excited to drink it. I'm looking at Steven's face again. It's actually it's changed now. His lips are pursed, and he's kind of looking at me. I think he's actually mad.
Sad.
I think he's mad at me.
Oh, very mad.
He's mad. He's like, we got together recording night. You brought this bottle. I saw it, and I thought it was something cool because it's brand new, and so I bought it, and now we're kind of regretting that, aren't we?
Well, I guess without further ado, Anthony, would you pass, try, or buy on this Jack Daniel's Bonded Tennessee whiskey?
I am going to pass.
I'm shocked.
Very, very easy pass. How about you, sir?
There is no way in hell I'm spending $32 on this. I'm just going to say that.
No way in hell. Yeah.
I mean, for $30, this tastes to me like $6 whiskey.
Yeah,
and there's no way I'm spending $30 on this.
And you know what's sad about it? If they're planning to make this a permanent brand extension, why? First of all, if you're going to buy Jack Daniel's, you're not buying the premium stuff like the Coy Hill or the barrel proofer stuff, which actually is pretty good. And you're going to buy this. Why? What would compel you to spend extra money on this? Is it going to taste better with your mixer? You're not going to sip it. This is not a sipping whiskey at all. If you're going to sip this, then you should rethink what you're doing in life because...
especially spending $30 on this. I mean,
there's many other things. Go get that Evan Williams single barrel that we talked about in the one episode.
Get anything.
Get anything. Get something.
Not Dickel. I mean, you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you can't compare the two. I still think that Jack Daniel's got a better, handle on things than maybe George Dickel does, but like it's not good. When I say not good, they're planning a permit line extension. Maybe for somebody who's a Jack Daniel's lover, they think this is great, but I'm not. And
I mean, maybe it mixes well with the acidity of the Coke. Like I think I got maybe did you get a little cherry note out of this?
I mean, if it's there, it's very slight.
Like I just don't know if it just cuts well with the acidity of the Coke, and they balance each other out. Like
it might be. I don't know.
I think I've had Jack and Coke before. I still think it's harsh.
Yeah,
a harsh mix. But
well, you know what they say on the side of their bottle here? It says notes of caramel, rich oak, and spice. I don't know how they don't mention vanilla because this is like super vanilla. So it's like a caramel, rich. I mean, yeah, I guess there's some caramel, but what the hell's rich oak? Rich oak?
I guess not poor oak.
Yeah, not poor oak.
So that's what you have on your side?
That's what it says. Yeah, here I'll
see on my side.
Here.
On my side, I have no receipt needed for returns.
Well,
that's what my side says.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
Oh, you're joking, aren't you? I'm looking at this now. Oh, you got me, you son of a gun. Oh man, no receipt needed for returns. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
So you think you can sell this online at open bottle, or you got to pay someone?
You know what? I think this is going to go on vacation with me and get mixed with anything anybody wants that has whiskey in it. This is what they're getting. Yeah, because this is the well. So the well for vacation is the Jack Daniel's Bonded. And vacation is coming up soon, so we'll try it out and see if anybody else likes it.
And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY. Also, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Until next time, keep it neat.